Both chambers of Congress are in recess this week after a dramatic standoff brought last week's legislative business to an early end. The House has just 8 days left to pass key legislation before the August recess. Republicans reportedly feeling defeated. Leadership concerns some members may lose motivation to even show up in Washington. Now, the Wall Street Journal writes this, quote, a growing number of GOP lawmakers have little incentive to come to work or toe the party line, putting critical legislation in danger as Republicans lurch towards the midterms. Joining me now is Nebraska Congressman Michael Flood. He chairs the Republican Main Street Caucus. Congressman, good morning. What are you hearing from your colleagues about this? I mean, is there still motivation to pass the president's agenda? There's been reporting in Politico that there is not much wherewithal within your party to move because of not just the tight calendar, but of course the midterms are coming.
Well, first of all, I have never missed a day of Congress in the 4 years that I've been a member, and I'm like almost all of my colleagues in the Main Street Caucus. You know, we have been doubted, and people have said we can't get things done, but we have been incredibly successful this Congress. And yes, there's 8 days that remain with big things to get done, like the FISA extension, the budget. Do we need a supplemental? Are we going to talk reconciliation? Where are we at on the SAVE Act? All of those things are on the horizon. Time is limited, but I can tell you the leadership and the committee system is fully engaged. It's frustrating when we have a setback like last week, but I know that Speaker Johnson's worked over the weekend, and I'm hopeful next week we can be very successful. You're
talking about Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna basically shutting down voting. I mean, you left early. I mean, have the conversations over the weekend changed?
Well, for a great majority, the majority of our majority, we are invested in getting this done. Listen, the SAVE Act is important to me. I voted 3 times to pass it. The House has sent it over to the Senate multiple times. There's a math problem over there. We have to navigate that on our side. But come July 13th, I'm hopeful we'll see a lot of progress. The funding issues, just the military and how we need to replenish our munitions, that's like job number 1 right now, and I don't think we have any room for error there.
Yeah, no, there's a major ask from the Pentagon right now at $67 billion, I believe, because that's an Iran supplemental, and they're asking for the money now. House Speaker Mike Johnson says the House is going to try to pass the Save America Act, you just mentioned this, one more time through budget reconciliation. The House passed it 3 separate times, as you mentioned, but it's held up in the Senate. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson joined me on Sunday. Here's what he told me.
I agree with President Trump. The Save America Act, making sure that only American citizens can vote, is crucial to saving our democracy. So from my standpoint, I think we need to focus on that and be realistic. The only way that passes is by ending the filibuster. The process to end the filibuster is start with a vote to change the rule, get Democrats and Republicans on record voting. Now, a lot of Republicans don't want to be on record. They realize their constituents want them to end it. They again, want to maintain the filibuster. And I understand it's a legitimate reason to have the filibuster when Democrats have control. But you have to be realistic. When Democrats get control, they will end it. So we ought to do it first. So start with a rule change and then move toward just nuking it with 50 votes. That's what I think we ought to do.
Okay, so Congressman, if this doesn't work and the Senate can't pass it, should Leader Thune just nuke the filibuster?
Listen, I'm not going to give the Senate advice on how to run its chamber because I would be offended if they told us how to run ours. What I wanted to hear him say there is we're going to do reconciliation and we're going to get it done that way. That is a proven pathway that has been in place since 1974 and only takes 50 votes. So we need to keep the focus on getting something done. And by the way, if we do reconciliation, we can also take care of a number of other issues like reducing waste, fraud, and abuse, like funding our military. Reconciliation is the best path forward. The Senate can talk all they want about their filibuster rule, but until Republicans win more elections, I don't think that changes. However, we find ourselves in a position where we have to pick. Do we want to be right or do we want to be successful? And in this case, we want to be successful. We want to get the Save America Act passed. Use reconciliation. It's a path. It takes 50 votes. That's where we should go.
Okay. Well, we're certainly going to be watching to see, again, because there's so many budgetary issues and the 2 things that we keep hearing from President Trump, filibuster, Save America. We shall see. President Trump did give an impassioned speech on Saturday night, celebrating 250 years of American independence. The message is affordability. What about the big, beautiful bill, the big, beautiful act? I mean, all of those. My apologies, sir. So when the president was out there on Saturday night talking about, just the greatness of our country and, what is so meaningful to him, he also denounced the rise of socialist ideas in the nation. He emphasized the communist system has never worked. New York Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis did join me yesterday with how Republicans can get around this messaging ahead of the midterms. Watch. If the message is affordability, what about the big, beautiful bill, the big, beautiful act? I mean, all of those amazing economic windfalls that Americans have gotten, in the fall when they got their tax returns. Is that part of the conversation, Congresswoman?
Yeah, look, socialism makes everything less affordable. That is why New York City, New York State have massive budgets. New York City's budget alone is more than the state of Florida's, the entire state of Florida. And that is why it is cheaper to live down there. They are driving up everything from energy costs to property taxes. Remember, property taxes, that gets passed on to you if you are a renter. And tolls, let's not forget about that. That's big in my district. All things that the Democrats are doing to squeeze more money in the name of socialism. We need to fight back. The no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, refunding seniors the taxes they paid on Social Security. All of that is helping to keep money in people's pockets. That's what the Republican Party stands for. The Democrats voted for a $5 trillion increase. They don't want to give those types of tax cuts and allow you to spend the money. They think they know how to spend the money much better. And that's the message that we need to get out there and spread to the American people.
Congressman, is that the best messaging strategy for Republicans as you move towards November? Focus on affordability.
Well, Nicole's one of my favorites, and living in New York, she's seen what's happening. She's seen people move out of her state. Meanwhile, we've got a Democrat nominee that says things like, seize the means of production, seize all properties from landlords, get rid of prisons and police and no borders. That is, we had an election on that in 2024. People voted to have borders and law enforcement and security and safety. And we want people to invest in real estate and let somebody rent out a home, for gosh sake. So listen, it's really kind of getting to a binary choice. And, there's a lot of moderate Democrats that have to just be down in the dumps, because what we're seeing in New York is not the Democratic Party that has been here for over 100 years. It is something far different. Seize the means of production? I mean, come on, that is incendiary. And if you want to galvanize Republicans, people like that becoming members of Congress, that will wake up the silent majority that we need to show up in November. A world without borders, seize the means of production. That's all you got to say.
Oh,
it's
no.
bad. It's really bad.
Congressman, here in New York, it's seize property, and it's out loud. I mean, they're looking at taking over buildings in this city. That is the Democratic Socialists of America, who, by the way, are now going to be focusing on Wisconsin and Michigan, just to be clear here. But I want to ask you about this before you go, because this is important. The 21st Century Road to Housing Act is still in limbo. President Trump abruptly canceled the bill signing ceremony, and then he said he wouldn't do it until Save America Act passes. But that could become law this Friday, as long as Congress is in session and the president does not veto it. So do you think the president should still sign the bill into law, give it a stamp of approval? Does it become law? Okay, so you think this happens?
Yes, I mean, perfect world, he signs the bill. But you know what? You know what it's called if it passes notwithstanding the signature? It's called a public law. So at the end of the day, 10, 20, 30 years from now, which, by the way, was the last time we had housing reform back 36 years ago, this will be the law of the land. And, I think he's also used this bill to really put pressure on Congress regarding the SAVE Act, which, hey, I'm all for that. We're going to pass it again. Let's get down to business. Let's do it through reconciliation. But this fundamentally addresses affordability. The number one expense Americans have every month is oftentimes their mortgage or their rent payment. And now we have unleashed a new era of innovation in manufactured housing. We've gotten rid of a lot of environmental studies and all of that barriers to using federal money. I think this is significant. It is going to help bring down cost of homes by increasing supply, and it is a win for Congress.
Congressman Michael Flood, it's always great to have you on the program. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you, sir. We'll be right back.